So the director of Braid is back, and they've got a new movie called St. Clare starring Bella Thorne, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing another FrightFest spoiler-free review of a film called St. Clare. Now, I realize I'm a little late. I had a couple of days there to spend with my girlfriend. It was her birthday, and I wanted to make sure it was special, so we took some time off to enjoy company and everything else. So I hope you guys understand. And I'm back to it. So this movie is directed by Mitzi Perron, and she was the director of the movie called Braid, and that movie was in 2018. It did pretty well. A lot of people were really into it, and she had a really unique kind of directorial style and storytelling that a lot of people like. So I was kind of curious about this one. St. Clare is a movie about a young girl, a teenage girl who has dealt with some very traumatic past stuff in her life, and she's grown up to be somewhat of a killer, and she goes out and takes care and dispatches some pretty unsavory types. When she stops a guy who's going around basically taking out girls, she realizes that he's not the only one, and she uncovers a lot more problems by doing so. This movie stars Bella Thorne, who, you know, has been in a couple of movies. She's doing a big action role here in this story, and I thought did pretty decent in this movie. We also have Rebecca De Mornay, who I haven't seen in a while. I always liked her in Mother's Day, so I was really happy to see her here. We got Ryan Philippe, who is playing an officer in here, and it stars Frank Whaley, who has a role in this movie that is pretty interesting and a lot of fun at times that I really enjoyed. It was probably one of the best things about the movie, but he kind of disappears for a while. But yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot of things that are going on in this movie that made me want to watch it and check it out. And I wanted to see, you know, is this a movie that would be for me? Parts of it, yes. Parts of it, no. This is a movie that has a lot of messaging in it for some pretty serious, dark things. And what I sort of liked about this movie was that it was kind of like a Dexter movie where she was out kind of going after all these people, but it quickly turns on her and things start to change around. By the end of the movie, there was one thing that really kind of made me really interested, and then a bunch of things at the very end that kind of ruined the dismount of this movie for me a little bit. Like I said, this is a movie that has some pretty heavy messaging for females and what they go through. I'm all for it. I'm supportive of all those kind of things. I don't even mind it when it comes to horror movies kind of exploring these types of things. I think it's the perfect place to do that, and people who get mad about it, it's like, just go watch another movie, you know? Like, it doesn't bother me in the least. But how they handled this one, there is going to be some people that like it and probably like that messaging, and it's strong enough to carry them over the problems that I found, but it wasn't enough for me, particularly at the very end. I started to kind of roll my eyes at some of the dialogue, some of the unbelievable stuff that happened with the characters. There is some rough around the edges acting in this movie, some people acting a little too much, you know, overacting, in my personal opinion. When it got to the very end and it got really super silly for me is when I kind of tuned out. Now, St. Clare is based off a novel by Don Roth. He is in the writing credits as the novel, but Mitzi Perron and Guinevere Turner also helped write this story to turn it into a feature film. Now, I haven't read the book, so I don't know if it follows the same stuff or not, so I can't say for sure, but at least as a movie, this is what I think. The silver lining here is that Bella Thorne is kind of a badass in this movie, and she does a really good job. And of course, Frank Whaley, who's in this movie, who bounces off of Bella Thorne really well. And I thought those two characters really meshed well, and it made this story much more than what it was. The flaws for this really kind of took the messaging down for me, in my personal opinion. So it's a flawed movie, but I still think it's enjoyable to watch. I was just expecting a little bit more because the beginning of the movie starts out pretty good. By the middle, it sort of slows down a little bit, and then it picks up at the third act, and that's where everything kind of goes wild, and it's a make it or break it for some viewers here. Personally, for me, I think this movie is probably about a 6 maybe 6.5. Just wasn't really into it as much. And maybe I'm not the target demographic, but like I said, I understand the messaging and I'm full supporting of it. I just didn't find this movie to really handle it as well as I was hoping. I still think that many of you who like that kind of thing might want to watch it, although there might be some trigger-worthy stuff in there, nothing too heinous. And then the story gets a little too twisty for me and my taste. There's multiple twists in this movie, and you're either going to buy them or you're not, and the ones that aren't probably aren't going to like this film too much. But I still urge you to go check it out when you get a chance to see for yourself. But that's what I think. That's just my opinion. And, you know, I really do appreciate FrightFest and everybody at St. Clair for allowing me to check this movie out. I hope it reaches the audience that it's supposed to. But yeah, thanks so much. And I hope you guys get the chance to check it out sometime soon. Now, they wanted me to tell you that St. Clair had its, premiere at FrightFest this year, and it will be coming to digital by 101 Films. There is no date to be confirmed on that just as of yet. And as far as the US goes, I still don't have any information on that. But if I find out and I hear about it, I will be posting it on the socials. So stay tuned. But let me know what you think about this movie. Is this a concept you can get behind? Is it something that you'd want to see? Let me know in the comment section down below. This will be my last FrightFest film for this year. I've just been so busy. I apologize if I haven't been able to get to everything. I really appreciate FrightFest for allowing me to come by and be a part of their festival. They've been wonderful to me. So thank you so much, FrightFest. And as always, long live the void.